Yeah, Jamie Gardner, he was talented, and I could do a whole listen. I know about the mini system. I was part of that mini system where they start raising you and grooming you at like 12 to 14 years old. Your whole life changes. You don't know, and then all of a sudden you're thrust into regular life. It's a bitch, dude. It's not easy. It's not easy to go from everybody catering to you and telling you you're going to be this to, oh shit, I got to work a job for minimum wage. I got to bag groceries. Wait a second. I was supposed to be a star. It's a tough transition. And while there's a lot of the dudes that make it, there's a ton more that are in that situation that don't make it. And they don't all end up well. So
yeah. And you know what? And it's just not Jamie. It's throughout the history of motorcycle racing. It's just like Little League or Pop Warner football or youth basketball. It doesn't matter. There's always those kids that don't make it, that are pushed into anything that they're going to make it, and they don't make it. And it's just, a different direction in life. And some can handle it and some can't,
Well, I can tell you for firsthand, it's a tough transition. It took me a lot of years and a lot of heartache and maybe some therapy to get through it all. And it is what it is. 250s.
Wait, so did you get over that was the therapy sitting behind the wheel driving to dealerships? Is that your therapy?
No. This is long before that. So my story, I quit. My dream ended at 16 when I snapped both my arms and lost all my support. I did it on my, that was a Grand Junction money race. I was there. It was Jimmy Gaddis, a bunch of those dudes. It was Grand
Junction, Colorado.
Yeah. It was right before Jimmy was dating some chick out there. So he came out there, but he was talking to Mitch at Pro Circuit right before he got that ride.
What year was that? 93?
92, 91, 92, somewhere around there. But they'd also talked to me and they led me to believe I was a candidate. So I was like, okay, if I beat Gaddis, I'm good to go. My bike cut off on the face of the triple, pinned me just like Colt Nichols did, and snapped both my arms. That was it.
What bike were you riding?
I was on a CR 125. I was on a 1990 and 91, and it had that bog. You know how you double and like the carburetor on those things sucked, the gas would bounce and it would go, whoa. It was a double to the triple, and I doubled and I went to the face of the triple, whoa, it just stuck me. I was screwed. What?
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. You here?
Yeah, you just cut out for a second.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I saw you waving at me, but no. So yeah, snapped both my arms, and then, dude, I spent, after you lose your support, and I spent some time screwing around after high school and before I ended up in college and driving to dealers. I didn't do that till I was after 25. I think I was 26, 27 when I started doing that, when I actually got my shit together. But it took a while.
Tough. I mean, it's tough. Like, a lot of my friends that, were high level racers, factory level guys, it's tough for them to, transition. It's really, really hard because that's all they've ever done. And, a lot of them, didn't educate themselves for that day when they were done. So all they know is racing, and if it's not involved in the motorcycle world, they're not going to be able to do anything. So it's a tough one, to rebound. That'd be a good story. I think it's just like that in any sport. The transition from being that guy and everybody loves to the guy that you're just a normal guy in the grocery store now. I mean, that's what happened to Tyler Evans. He stopped getting, and then he was self-promoting himself, thinking he was, pretending he was something special that he wasn't. And, took his life, man.
Yeah, that was gnarly. And I think concussions in our sport have a lot to do with it too.
Yeah, he was a perfect example of that.
I've lost 4 friends I grew up racing with, Kenny, to suicide. That's not normal to have 4 friends you grew up racing with commit suicide. I'm 46. Like it shouldn't be that high. Anyway, we'll move off of that. We'll do it one day. We'll have to do a podcast on all that stuff because it's gnarly, and that's why I'm such a Nazi about the head injuries. And
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think that would be a great podcast to talk to people about that and really, do some investigating reporting like you do so well, my friend.
Well, and that's why I get so pissed off, because I look at how many more seats they could have and guys could actually make careers. And I think it would change a lot. It would open up a lot more. It wouldn't completely fix that problem, but I feel like there's a lot more dudes that could make a living riding dirt bikes if a couple of these promoters would share their gigantic pocketbooks and their houses in the Hamptons. So
Yeah, well, you know what? You were talking about the protocol, the concussion protocol. If if Saxton was just some privateer, 3-digit guy, he wouldn't be racing. They would sit him down.
you think?
You know what I mean? Oh yeah, for sure. For sure.
I feel like
No way. They're not gonna, I don't know. I personally, I mean, maybe things have changed, but in the past, they for sure always let the privateers always get the short end of the stick. And those are the privateers are the one that are gonna go race with the concussion. You know what I mean? Because they're the ones that need it more than the factory guys.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And those guys aren't going to report their concussions. And if it's not on camera, nobody's going to see it.
I mean, a perfect example is last year before the season started. Carson Mumford had a huge crash where he was knocked out, big concussion, didn't tell anybody, went to the races a week later. And I mean, dude, he wasn't even qualifying. He was like barely squeaking into the night show. And everyone was like, what's going on with you, dude? And then finally, before, 2 races to go, he comes out of the closet and says, man, I woke up and I finally feel like I'm out of this fog. He was riding with it, and he said he crashed and he hit his head, and he wasn't gonna not race. It was too important to him.
I get it.
Like that's not good, bud.
I get it, but at the same time, these guys got to have people around them that know this is going on and that have to have the balls enough to step up and sit them down.
Oh, I do, believe me, if I would have known, I would have stepped in, and I know his dad would have stepped in too. But he didn't say anything. His mechanic was there. His mechanic should have said something.
Yeah.
But it's water under the bridge. Thank God nothing happened to him.